Lots of chirping going on in Broken Shoulder's nest, but she's panting, she's suffering. So I'm going to have to go and get the fan and point it against the wall or something to try and change the airflow, because she's being forced to sit tight as an automatic response to eggs hatching, not only to keep the humidity in, keep them warm, but also to protect them against predators. Natural instinct, but it's not going to do the hatchlings or those still trying to hatch any good, as it's not going to do her any good because it's just too hot. I don't know what the temperature is in here at the moment. I haven't got my thermometer with me, but it's extremely hot, extremely sticky, and there's no air. They're threatening us with the possibility of storms today, but then they told us it was going to storm last night and it didn't. It was extremely hot, you couldn't breathe. Didn't go below about 26 degrees. Clouds there, I don't know, and maybe stormy clouds, because our weather comes from the west. Anything that's coming from the west we get. If it's coming from anywhere else, north, south or east, it doesn't come here. It goes around us. We see it pouring with rain everywhere else, even just over there, but it doesn't actually come here. And I don't quite know which way the weather's blowing. It appears to be blowing in a westerly direction, but who knows. But if it does rain, that would be a godsend. But because I want it to rain, you can guarantee it won't for another 3 weeks. But there, such is life. There's something very strange going on. That sounds like a screech owl. And it sounds like it's out of the nest, because I can hear, I mean, that's a bird having a fit, that bit, but you can hear snapping of the beak. But the noise they make when they're you know, in defence mode. The branches were moving there just now. There's nothing there. Whatever it is, it stops. It's obviously seen me. But I don't know what it's doing. Broad daylight out of the nest calling. We have got an awful lot of screech owls around here. Oh, it's over there now. No, it's not. Where is it? Of course, can't see a thing through all this undergrowth. Not a thing. I hope it's not an owl that's come out the nest, because it'd be completely vulnerable. And she says that and gets attacked by the adult, falling out of nowhere. No, can't see a thing. I'll go through the turkey patch and see if I can see anything through there. This is how hot it is in here. These turkey babies are completely flopped. Poor Maude is passing out, even though there's a reasonably good breeze, but unfortunately it's a hot breeze. But it is unbearably hot in here again. And poor Broken Shoulder, I dread to think. So I'm definitely going to go and get the fan. Broken Shoulder has elevated herself off the nest to try and cool her hatching babies down a bit. She's not sitting tight. You can see an egg at the front of her there. Just where she's trying to calm down. There's a reasonable breeze coming through here. I'm not sure what the breeze is like down on ground level. not a lot. Although it doesn't feel quite as hot down here at her level as what it does at my level. But she is panting. Don't know what I can do for you, old girl. I'll put something at the door maybe, so you've got a draft coming through there, because you're pretty well enclosed there, aren't you, with that wood there. Not too many more hours, only 3 more hours, now to cool down a bit, I hope. Alright, old girl. I'm in my baby turkey and guinea fowl patch. That I had the turkeys and the guineas in, the ones that I hatched out last year. I think I probably had something like 70 young turkeys and guineas in here. It's not a very big patch, but they got nice shade, and I hang bags and stuff from anything shiny and noisy from the strings here to keep any would-be opportunist aerial predators away. Now 4 days ago this was green and lush, as was the turkey field here. In 4 days it's gone from green and lush to dead. As I say, it's gone 13 degrees during the day to about 30 plus 40 degrees during the day in about 4 or 5 days. Nobody's had time to adjust to the violent change in temperature. That baby owl was here somewhere, but I can't see him now, I can't hear him. Just hope he hasn't been picked off by a buzzard or something, because that was certainly the call of a youngster, a young screech owl, and I say you could hear the snapping of the beak, and the other birds around were screaming the alarm to say that there was a predator around, even though it was a baby owl. As far as they're concerned, the blackbirds and other small birds class an owl as a predator, or maybe they were screaming the alarm because the baby was on the ground and they could recognise its cause of distress. I don't know, whatever, it's gone now, or it's just laying very quiet, or at worst no longer with us. But there we are. I come out here pretty quick, so I don't think a predator would have got to it in the time it took me to walk around the stables, but never mind. Anyway, of course, as my luck always has it, whenever I am trying to do something or achieve something, you can guarantee that my life has other ideas and basically says, you reckon, jog on. So here I am trying to hatch guinea fowl out under turkeys. Turkeys feel the heat anyway, especially these turkeys, because they're Normandy black, so they're used to UK sort of temperatures, always wet, never very warm. And although these turkeys were born here, Maude wasn't born here, but this lot were, so they should have a certain amount of immunity, if you like, to the extremes of temperature. They're still black, they still absorb the heat, they still feel the heat greatly, and I'm asking 3 of them now to sit on eggs. 2 of them are just sitting, one of them's, and the 3rd one's trying to hatch guinea fowl out. Really unhelpful weather conditions for that scenario. Just my luck though. Absolutely typical of life having other ideas for me and the creatures I share my life with, and it really hacks me off. Hey boys, you're getting a nice breeze with your feathers all poofed up there. You don't seem too bad, okay? You get a bit green grass, eh? Okay, jolly good. Right, I must go and get the fan for poor broken shoulder. Watch the way old Maude eats in between her baby's heads. I think she was half starved. She's very careful. She's a really good mum to these guineas. She really is. Okay, so she's squashed two. Well, she definitely squashed one. The second one, I think, just purely died of heat exhaustion. It would have been right under her chest. That's how the position it was in when she got up. It was right under her chest, and it was just laying very peacefully on its side, but dead. It hadn't been squashed. There was no flattened areas on it. Its downy bum fluff was all as it should be. Nothing was flattened or anything, or it may have just died. Who knows? But it certainly hadn't been squashed. One she certainly squashed. She would have trodden on its back, which was unfortunate. And two squashed in the nest, simply because there was just too many eggs, too many bits of shell, too many hatchlings wandering around all over the place under there, and she didn't know what was going on. She couldn't see what was going on. She could only feel roughly what was going on, so she wouldn't have been able to have told the difference between a shell and an egg. And if she tried to shift shells out of the way to give her babies and the remaining hatching eggs some room, she can't be expected to be right every single time. It was a total shambles underneath her. So one was out, but was obviously drying off and just got squashed, laid on. And the other one was very nearly out of the egg, but not quite. One last push and it would have been out, but it got pinned and squashed before it could get out. So I say, unfortunate happenings. But she certainly is very careful where she treads. She treads on their toes from time to time, but then they do dart around like a load of fleas. So they're not exactly very careful about where they run, and if she happens to be picking her foot up and putting it down at the same point that two or three of them run directly underneath her and then stop, she's going to catch one or two, isn't she? So, but she's a really good mum. I'm very pleased with her. I just hope Broken Shoulder is as good, because Broken Shoulder's never had babies before. Maude did last year, as you know, but not Broken Shoulder or No Tail or the other one that I've got in. I think that was the one that had blackhead disease and got over it. So we call her Blackhead. I know who I'm talking about. But no doubt we will see sooner rather than later what sort of mum Broken Shoulder makes, because there's quite a lot of chirping going on in her nest now. So it's all very exciting, again, and very nerve-wracking at the same time. Just spied in on Broken Shoulder because I could hear squeaking that wasn't decent squeaking. And she had three babies out in front of her because they're too hot, and she was pecking them, telling them to go back in. She had one there, another one creeping out underneath her there. She did have three in front of her, but they're too hot. I'm trying to come out for some air. So I know she's got three out, and they're dried and fluffed up and fine. So she was pecking them to tell them to get back in, and they said, "No, Mum, we don't want to go back in. It's too hot." Can't really see him, he's camouflaged. There. So I don't put the fan on her now, because they're going to be in the draft and that'll kill them. So, but I think she's stopped panting, has she? I don't want to get too close, I don't want her to move. I fear that she might squash somebody. No, she stopped panting. Okay, I'm leaving you in peace, I'll go up. We have a rumbling in the distance and some pretty vicious looking cloud formation, but it's coming from the east, and generally when it comes from the east it doesn't hit us, it just goes round. Very frustratingly, thunder, lightning, you can see the rain pouring down on everybody else, but we stay in brilliant sunshine. But hopefully, let's hope that we get it and rejuvenate the grass and cool my poor turkeys down. I hope. That is one freaky sky. Pan in, see if I can pick it up without the wisteria in the way. Wow. Oh. After the storm, a little bit of rain, but that was it. But it's cooler now, so that's good.